seems like everyone in the Sonic community is singing Sonic Frontiers' praises, but is the game really as good as people say it is? Well, I'm answering that today, so grab yourself a snack and a glass of orange juice, because
here we go.
I was looking for a bit more energy there, Sonic. Yeah, that's one of the first things people noted about when booting up the campaign, the voice direction. All of the characters have, not necessarily deeper, but more relaxed voices. Sonic only sounds deeper because Roger being more laid back in his delivery just means he's gonna naturally reach a lower tone. Although it is kind of inconsistent. It's notably deeper at the start of the game, but at certain points, he does get closer to what we're used to.
I've got one more Titan bot to go. Hopefully I'll find Tails too. I'm worried about him.
It's certainly a bit different from the games prior, but if I gotta be honest, this is some of Roger's best voice work for Sonic, even if I'm not surprised that it made for reactions like these.
I didn't expect that voice. This is Sonic as he's hitting puberty.
I understand this was done to make the game feel more serious or grounded, but looking back, I really wouldn't have minded Roger go for a voice similar to what they were going for at games like Sonic Lost World.
I do trust you, Tails, but the whole world's in danger because I did something stupid. Do you know how much that bites?
Too bad the writing was shit, and man, am I happy that Sonic Frontiers fixed that issue for me. Sonic is finally cool again, but not in the look at me monologuing and making sentences that sound cool kind of way, which happens surprisingly often in the 2010s.
It's messed up, so I'm gonna mess you up. And I guess we have to run like there's no tomorrow, or there won't be a tomorrow.
But more in the, wow, I wish I had the confidence to do that kind of way, where you see him genuinely cheering up his friends with actually wise words. I can actually see some kids getting inspired by Sonic and having him as their role model again. You'll never catch this Sonic saying, "You got this, buddy. Don't let your fear own you." Though if I gotta be harsh, the story is very much carried by the dialogue. I'll explain what I mean. So, most of the 2010s games had really strong premises or plots, but ultimately failed in the writing department. I mean, Sonic visiting an interstellar amusement park to save Eggman from enslaving aliens? Sonic meeting up with his past self to save time and space? That's awesome! Baldy Neck Nosehair. But with Frontiers, that's the exact opposite. The writing itself is really good here, but when it comes to the plot, the ending of the story is kind of confusing and lame, in my opinion. By the end of the game, you're expecting all these loose ends to come together in one final aha moment, but that just doesn't happen. I only half understood what this whole alien race was about. I literally still don't know what this symbol means, and why are we blowing up the moon? The twist villain ended up being so lame and predictable here that this is the only mainline Sonic game where, for the entire game, I was actively rooting for Sonic to just stop doing what he's doing. This dynamic would have worked so much better if Sage was Sonic's companion, and the comically suspiciously acting voice was Eggman's AI. This would have made it so Sonic and the audience would easily sympathize with Sage, and then feel misled when she turned out to be tricking us all along. Now it just feels like, well, yeah, Sonic, you're doing what this random voice has to say that you don't trust and have no connection with at all, so you can just literally keep making yourself weaker until you're fully corrupted with full evidence by Sage against your actions resulting in you saving your friends. Amazing. You're even calling it the spooky sky voice. Why are you not realizing what you're doing?
Oh yeah? Why isn't it talking to the rest of us then?
Yeah, I wonder. No answer. Okay. But honestly, I'm glad we got the polar opposite to the 2010s here. Characters finally feel like who they're supposed to be again, with every single one of them going through some kind of change throughout the story. I've heard some critique on the abundant use of references, and I do think that's a negative, but not for the reason you think it is. You can really tell Ian Flynn is a comic book writer in this game, because every time there was a reference to a past event, I was just expecting a little comic book text box to show up. I tend to roll my eyes at a lot of them though, because I think the reason stories like Sonic Unleashed are so beloved is because anyone can hop in and immediately understand what's going on. It was self-contained. I mean, that intro cutscene literally tells you everything you need to know about Sonic, Eggman, and the Chaos Emeralds in less than 6 minutes. With Frontiers though, newcomers aren't gonna understand what all these past adventures are about, and consequently, won't be as invested in the story as longtime fans, who have a head start with more context to work off of. But I think this is kind of excused, because this is a game that was made specifically for people who are starving for the world to finally feel connected again, so I guess it makes sense to address this problem with a bang. Another problem that was addressed with the story is the animation. Sonic is finally expressive again. Look at his sad little face and tell me you don't want to give him a hug. In previous games, the characters were very stiff and lifeless in their movements, not really making expressions at all, but here? God damn! This is the best in-game cutscene animation for a Sonic Team game since Unleashed. And heck, even that game used motion capture, although Frontiers Buddy, what's this? Obviously, though, what matters most is the gameplay. Now, you've probably heard of some general shortcomings, but I really want to go into detail here and really break down what exactly makes these weak points so weak. I've got 2 words for you that shit any Sonic fan's pants. Cyber and space. Okay, first of all, why are we in Green Hill again? Sonic, can you stop making references for 2 minutes? If these levels are supposed to be a mix and match of Sonic's memories, why are we going through Sonic Generations levels with Sonic Generations level design? It's not even the ripped-off level design I'm mad about. Green Hill, Chemical Plant, and Sky Sanctuary? You really couldn't be slightly innovative at all. Where's Marble Zone, huh? Red Mountain, Egg Fleet, Asteroid Coaster, you're nothing. The only level theme that's a mix and match of different environments is the city aesthetic, which is such lost potential. Imagine if we had a mix match of Green Hill, Emerald Hill, Palm Tree Panic, Emerald Coast, Seaside Hill, with Ocean, all in one level. That would have been great, but instead we got Sonic Generations assets. Again. And the most insulting part? There's only 4 level themes. You're telling me you couldn't come up with 3 more unique environments? We were kinda ripped off with the aesthetics here. But hey, it's all about the gameplay, right? We're fucked. Okay, but I'm sick of people going, the controls are bad. Okay, let's actually count this up. Sonic is way too slow. He shouldn't already have his arms out when he's running at this speed. The ground controls start out decent, but gets way too stiff when you start running faster. The air rotation is probably the worst in the entire series. Look at this! The jump speed is awful. If you're not boosting, it caps at your jogging speed. I thought we left this behind in Sonic 2! Furthermore, there's practically no air acceleration here, so if you're launched directly upward, good luck trying to land anywhere at all. I genuinely believe the developers forgot the slide was in the game. The only time it's mandatory is in the skippable loading screen tutorial. Everywhere else, it's removed from the original level design. Why does the double jump reset every time you hit a spring or dash ring, but not the air boost or stomp? You're telling me the playtesters never tried stomping on these? I guess it doesn't matter too much, since the air boost acts more like a double jump than an actual air boost. I genuinely would have preferred Force's mechanics over this. Why does the hit stop take ages here? If you're gonna make all these changes to Sonic, why not actually do some that make the gameplay more efficient? The quick step has input lag. I'm not elaborating on this one. Why is Sonic so damn slow in 2D? It's pretty cool that he can roll here, but it'd be cool if it worked for once. What is this drift? And why isn't it mapped to the left trigger or something? Also, there's no reason for us not to be able to boost while drifting. This skateboard. Sonic 06 controlled better than this. But the open zone controls are pretty decent. I still would have liked some more tweaks though. For instance, why is jumping from slopes so sad? It works decently fine enough on the ground, but when it comes to these structures, why does he jump like that? Also, I would have liked the slide get replaced with a curl/uncurl toggle, since the slide doesn't really do anything in the open zone. The reason I'd like to see a roll toggle is because right now, after you perform a drop dash, there's no way to uncurl and retain your speed. Well, not that you retain any speed at all when running. It seems the higher the speed is that you start out with, the slower the speed is gonna be that you decelerate to. There's actually some mods out there that fix this though. It also would have been cool to have more impactful momentum, but since you can boost here, I guess it doesn't really matter for the default running. So, now for the big question. Is Sonic Frontiers really as good as people say it is? Well, I think you already know the answer to that. The gameplay is addicting, the music goes hard at times, and the story is pretty good. I just wish we could get Ian to write a game with such a promising plot like Colors, cause that story could have been some of the series' best, had the writing been as good as Frontiers. And hey, if you want to see how that's pulled off, I talk all about it in this video.